Hey everyone, it's Timmy Scott, and if you're new here, welcome. For those who are willing to watch to the end, which some of you do, and that's cool if you do, thank you. Anyway, as you can tell by the title of this video, I don't know what I want to label it yet. You'll see it obviously when it's uploaded, but stuff about similar or the experiences I've come to look back on, I guess. Experiences I've looked back that have changed me for the better. So, I know I've talked about my past experiences growing up in a sheltered environment and being isolated, ostracized, and all of that stuff that a lot of us, people like myself, face on a day-to-day basis practically. And it's unfortunate that there are some people who only care about themselves in a negative way and don't really care what the person went through. They only care about themselves. Anyway, so, and I know I've addressed this before, but I want to, looking at it now and putting it in a directional thought, I like putting myself out there on camera because I've seen people that went through same or similar experiences that I went through. Maybe not so much the special education part, but just being ostracized, isolated, and ridiculed by people that are supposed to care about you. And it's not that I didn't listen to them, it's just I was still at a time period in my life where I was expecting an apology from people that have hurt me in many different ways. And it's like, to me, I didn't really see the glass half full, pretty much. I'll use that as an example. I've seen that metaphor even in those situations I was facing. I never saw the glass half full. People, like I said, in a way where, they were explaining to me what they were going through and different situations, and or at least the same but considered again similar. So I always thought to myself, I never want to get over this. I'm always gonna not be happy at the people that hurt me and all this stuff. I was angry and frustrated. More frustrated and pissed off than angry. I mean, it kind of meshes together, but not really. And like I said before, my friend I live with now had gone through similar experiences. Maybe not so much the Jehovah's Witness part of it, but being isolated, ostracized, and all that stuff. So that's why I feel close to him, because we went through similar things and tries to explain it to me. And again, it's not that I didn't want to listen when people tell me they go through the same or similar experience I went through. It's just I was so frustrated at being so focused on the people that hurt me. I expected an apology from them. And I didn't, like I said, at that metaphor, I didn't see the glass half full, or full, whatever you want to label it as. And again, that's where the part of me being frustrated pretty much all the time kind of fed away at me, ate away at the core of me. And again, being in special ed and people not caring about me didn't help the situation. It only made things worse for me. I mean, I've only had like 2 people that were authorities, or at least school teachers, and one was a school teacher and the other was a therapist, more like a counselor therapist. Anyway, one was the female teacher, and one was a male counselor, and both of them had confidence in me. And unfortunately, because of the situation I was in, it didn't help. It only made it worse. Like I said, people that you live with are supposed to care about you, but don't. And that's the unfortunate part of it. Like, I'll give an example. I had a counselor, like I said, I had a male counselor who I could interact with and just get along with, and showed concern but not scared of me. And I still think about it sometimes of some of the conversations we've had before. And another one of, like I was talking about, this is when I was still in public school. So there was this teacher who told me that if I increased one grade higher in the class that I was in, I could go into a regular class. And in my head, I'm like, I can finally get out of being in a special ed class and be happy that I'm in a regular, normal class with other kids that are, well, normal, I guess. Normal doesn't really mean anything, but you get the idea. Like I said, I thought to myself, I'm gonna be in a regular class with regular kids for once and get that experience. I mean, when I was younger in elementary school, things seemed fine, and I was doing pretty good, but because, again, of being in a sheltered environment like the Jehovah's Witnesses, didn't help the situation. And my parents, not being as smart as they are, and only seeing things in black and white, didn't help my situation at all. There's a thing called common sense where parents, if they make a mistake to their kids and really go through with acknowledging it, are supposed to have common sense into apologizing for hurting them. Well, that's not the case, unfortunately, with my parents, like I said. And most of my Jehovah's Witness friends can confirm that parents like that. And this doesn't even necessarily mean for Jehovah's Witnesses. This goes for most sheltered environments like that, where most religious sheltered environments see things in black and white. You would think a place like church or a Kingdom Hall, but it's still called a church. They deny it's a church, but it's still a church regardless. You would think a place like that is supposed to give you comfort. But instead, these people in a church like to make fun of other individuals around them because they find personal gain out of it or whatever, and they think it's funny to laugh and mock at someone, an individual who's different from them, and they expect them to be like them, but if they're not, they'll laugh and mock them because they're not like them. That isn't loving at all. Laughing at someone while you're in church, expecting them to be just like you, that says a lot about you than, obviously, me or the person you're mocking. That isn't loving at all. And I'm not just saying this to Jehovah's Witnesses. I mean, granted, a lot of you know how bad they are. But anyway, so, yeah, like I said, I thought the people that were important to me, that I thought I looked up to, didn't. So that really hurt a lot growing up. So that kind of fed into how I was feeling even more, and looking at things in a different perspective. Like I said, I was seeing the glass half full when people would tell me similar situations they were going through. And I didn't see I didn't see the glass half full when people would tell me they'd go through the same or similar experience. And I've listened to them, but it's, again, I didn't see the glass half full. Metaphorically speaking, anyway. So, I know I'm leaving out things, and it's there, and I want to say it. It'll come to me. But, yeah, it just didn't help being ridiculed by people you thought you cared about, or they cared about you, but didn't really in the end. And it sucked. It hurt. Being bullied by your own family members hurts. It does. But again, like I said, I didn't see the glass half full, or see the glass full, or you get the idea. I didn't see that because I was already frustrated enough with things that were happening. And looking at it now with the people telling me similar experiences they were going through, made me realize that it shouldn't and truly, honestly matter that people hurt me. Knowing I'm never going to get an apology, I shouldn't, again, like I said before, I shouldn't hold my breath to it. I enjoy talking on camera to people and kind of giving self-help motivations for people who do like hearing what I have to say. And to the people that don't, that's your loss. You know where you stand. And like I said, I know where I stand. I see the glass half full. And friends don't let friends get self-destructive. I mean, again, you don't have to be in a drug-infested environment to let that happen. But unfortunately, in that situation, not the drug part, but again, unfortunately in that situation, it happens a lot out there in the world. And that's just something, unfortunately, people don't see when they want to make fun of people because they get personal gain out of it, or they think it's funny to mock someone because they're different than them and expect them to be different. Oh yeah, it was there, but I couldn't quite get it out. I was talking to my friend about this, and he's even noticed it himself, and it makes a lot of sense, honestly. Because of the things that people have told me, and I went with it, I could never stick up for myself, because I just never could. I was never taught how to stick up for myself. When you're a Jehovah's Witness, you're never taught to stick up for yourself. You're supposed to let people walk all over you and use you like a doormat. Anyway, so I almost had a moment there. I let people walk all over me, tell me things that I want to hear, even though I didn't like it, and I wanted to defend myself. I wanted to, but I couldn't. So with that, I started to let these things that people tell me become my own reality. I started letting myself feed into that kind of emotion and notion of it, of, again, not seeing the glass half full. And when you're really young, depending on the type of environment you're in, I mean, there are some parents out there that will stick up for their kids, and there are some things my parents did that were good, but too much of the indifferent relationship we had, it pretty much became a blur for the most part, so I don't remember, and I don't really care, but anyway, so, like I said, because of the things that people told me about myself, and expected much out of, didn't expect anything out of me, but wanted me to do things for them, and stuff like that, I created this reality of what people said that I was, and I let that happen. So I created this image in my head of the person I wanted I was, and I didn't like it, but again, when you have people that are supposed to care about you but don't, you can't stick up for yourself. And I know I'm not the only one that goes through this. And obviously, like I said, I've seen people talk about this to me and stuff like that. It's one of those things that I guess I kind of took for granted, but because, again, people I thought cared about me or I cared about them turned out being wrong. People use each other, unfortunately. I mean, I'm not saying this happens for everybody, but a lot of people use each other for personal gain, and not in a good way either. I'm not like that. I leave toxic environments for a reason, and this is where I ended up now in my life, and the friend I live with now, not my boyfriend, so make this perfectly clear, he's not my boyfriend at all. Get that through your head. Anyway, he's gone through, again, pretty much the same similar thing I went through. Maybe not so much to the Jehovah's Witness extent, but he gets what I went through. And it's not he's frustrated at me when stuff is happening, and not so much in a bad way, but just stuff that makes him frustrated. It's not me he's frustrated at. It's how I was raised and brought up to that extent of it. And again, it's not me that's the problem. It was the type of people known as people I thought cared about me, my family and friends, didn't. And like I said in the beginning, with Jehovah's Witnesses and just the environment I was in general, I didn't have that choice to be born in that. It just happened. It happens to a lot of people. Some people are born in a better environment, some people are born in a negative environment, and a negative, toxic environment anyway. So, yeah, things were very black and white growing up. And seeing that, anyway, for a lot of people. To some people, it doesn't have much thought, I guess. I don't know. But, like I said, and I know I've repeated it, but I'll say it anyway, just so it comes across to people who do like watching to the end of my videos. I didn't see things in the glass half full. I was just frustrated, always expecting people to apologize to me. And looking at everyone that so far I've come in contact with, that I've gone through similar experiences, including the friend I live with now, I didn't see the glass half full. That's a way of seeing, supposed to see the things as a glass half full. So, whether you want to ridicule me, mock me, make fun of me, whatever it is, I don't care anymore. It really, being where I was in my life, knowing that people are supposed to care about me, didn't, so the things that were said to me became my own reality. And looking at it, I know I'm not like that. And I know I don't want to create that reality of what people told me in the past. But I did at one point for a really long time anyway. Was going to say many years, but to me many years, but for a really long time. And in a sense, I didn't see the glass half full or full. Anyway, either way, doesn't matter. So it was a lot of things frustrated me because of the situation I was in, and I wanted to get out of it, but I couldn't because that's what happened. So yeah, that's pretty much my story. Like I said, people who want to say nasty and ridicule me and make fun of me and mock me, again, says more a lot about you, but that's on you, not me. I know who I am. I know where I stand in my life. I wish a lot of people could see that themselves, where they stand, what they do to people, and how they treat them in a negative way. But anyway, just wanted to throw that out there, just in case people find this beneficial, like I've said before. And if you did, hit that like button to blue, leave a like, comment down below. Like I said, regardless if you're going to say negative things to me, mock me, make fun of me, whatever, it's not going to matter to me anymore. I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, again, watching people, the experiences they went through, has made me realize now, at least, that I created a reality that I didn't need to create. But unfortunately, because of the circumstances, I had no choice, and I didn't see the glass half full or full. Like I said, I'm not sure where that stands. Anyway, so, yeah, I was a really frustrated person with the way things were, and I was not happy where I was. And looking at things now, seeing it differently, maybe this helps you. Maybe it does, and I know there are people out there that watch this, and they do like watching this, so I'm glad this helps you see where I came from and knowing that you went through this as well. Maybe not the same thing, but similar. So, yeah, like I said, hit that like button to blue. Let me know that you enjoyed this, which I know some of you will. Speaking of which, toward the end of this, I was just going to wrap this up. I will talk about my tattoos in a video probably before I go out of town. Obviously, yeah, before I go out of town, I will make a video on my tattoos, what they mean to me, why they are important to me, and yeah, why if that short the script, why if you shouldn't get one just because you want to and then regret it later. So yeah, look out for that one, and like I said, hit that red subscribe button down below. Only takes 3 seconds of your time if you have a YouTube channel. It really does help. Views obviously help. I know by now people know how that works. Helps the channel grow that way and all that good stuff. So again, if you're just as random as I am and you made it to the end, again, leave a comment. Let me know you subscribed. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.